Hollow Knight is one of, if not my favorite game of all time. It is an absolutely incredible Metroidvania game with interesting storytelling, fun gameplay, and beautiful visuals. It actually serves as great inspiration for a game I plan to make once I'm finished with my current project, which you can learn about in my last video. You should watch it if you haven't. I have played the game a lot recently, and in general, logging over 200 hours on just Switch version, where I achieved 112%, all achievements, every individual Pantheon binding, 3/5 of the Pantheons with all bindings at once, and the third tier of the Void idol, which is to say I beat every boss without getting hit. So, still wanting to play, but not wanting to torture myself with the agonizing pain of all Bindings Pantheons, I turned to the PC version and mods. I've played a handful of mods, primarily Randomizer, but today I wanted to try something different. Hollow Knight's modding scene is somewhat infamous for being, for lack of better terms, completely insane. This is especially true when it comes to modded boss fights. Yep, cool. Great. Awesome. With added changes that make the fight significantly more challenging, and Hollow Knight is already not an easy game. So, in what I would later find out was a moment of delusion, I decided to try to beat one. What's the worst that could happen? Let's dive into my experience with the Corrupted Kin modded boss, and what I learned from it. To start, I'll play my first real attempt so you can see for yourself what I was up against. Alright, here we go. Maybe. Oop. Well, I can actually see all the frames now. My goodness. This guy's hard. I'm gonna beat him though. I'd win. This was going to be a hard grind. The charm build I used initially was Unbreakable Strength, Long Nail, Shaman Stone, and Quick Slash. For those uninformed, that essentially means my nail swings did more damage and had more range, as well as higher rate of swinging, and my spell cast had extra damage as well. It's a fairly good build for attuned boss fights, at least I think it is. I'm not really an expert on the subject. But it still took a long time to deal meaningful damage because the boss just has a ton of health. I wouldn't know exactly how much until later, when I would quickly take a break to install the HP bar mod. Alright, this is the one. Honestly, I don't know how I had the ability to do every boss in the base game hitless, because nowadays my stamina for attempting hard challenges over and over again is significantly lower, especially if things start to feel hopeless. And at this point, it definitely had. It seemed like some attacks were just completely undodgeable, though I may have just been forgetting things in the moment, like the Shade Dash that makes you invulnerable, or Descending Dark's generous invincibility frames. But regardless, I was not having a good time. After about an hour of grinding out attempts and realizing I hadn't even broken half health yet, I decided to employ a new strategy. The Transcendence mod is another mod for Hollow Knight that does a fun few little things that I like, and I very commonly use it during randomizer runs for some added spice. Notably, it adds several new charms to the game, and one in particular I was very fond of: Lem's Strength. Lem is a character in the base game whose sole purpose is to give meaning to the otherwise useless relics you find throughout Hallownest. He will buy them off you in exchange for Geo, and you can get quite a pretty penny for most of them, making it a very good tactic for making a lot of money quickly, so much so that speedruns route in relic pickups to help afford necessary big purchases. This added charm is based on that, and adds 1 to your nail damage for every relic you have on hand. Luckily for me, in a Godseeker profile, you have every possible relic pickup in the game and no way to sell them, meaning equipping the charm would grant a substantial damage boost, which might just be my ticket to finally taking down the boss. By removing Shaman's Stone in exchange for Lem's Strength, my spell damage went down, but my nail damage jumped from about 30 to almost 80, if not higher. With my renewed confidence, I jumped right back into the fight, and let's go. Let's go! I beat the guy. I beat him. Let's go. Lem the goat. Look at that. I did it. Let's go. Yes, I did manage to take him out. Would I do it again? Possibly without the aid of the Transcendence mod? Absolutely not! In all seriousness, this was very insightful for me, as it showed me what I probably shouldn't do in my games. Difficulty is a slippery slope, and trying too hard to make things incredibly challenging can lead to not a fun challenge, but a grueling, torturous, depressing grind. Some people are into that, of course, but not me. I, of course, mean no ill will to the mod creator. It's incredibly well made, and honestly, in terms of ridiculousness, like I've described, it comes nowhere close to most of the other mods I've seen. But I'll be sure to take note that if additional mods are needed to make a challenge reasonable, maybe the challenge is a bit too hard. Subscribe and such if you enjoyed, and I hope you all have a wonderful day today.